Excellent. So if you're on this call today, you are here for one of the 3 reasons that I would have pointed out last week in my broadcast to the different groups. And I will list 3 of those reasons again. The first one is how to trail your stop loss. The second one is how to trade TPs 1, 2, and 3. And the third one is how to trade stress-free. Now, I'm just going to go into a bit of background as to why I decided to do this, because I know that most of you, or at least some of you, recently joined trading. I know how trading can go above our heads sometimes. Some of the educators, including myself, might mention some terminologies and stuff, etc. in things like the signals group, and even some of the other groups that we have out there. And you guys probably look at it and wonder what it is we're talking about, right? So the reason that I've decided to do this is because if some of you are in this group and you're not in the signals group, reach out to your leader and allow them to plug you in. We have some really, really great educators out there that share a lot of information on there and share some really good profitable trades. I don't know if any of you were in gold last week, but I was in gold and I became very profitable from this trade. And also I have been sending out some trades to help you guys along the way as well. So I hope that that you guys have started to be profitable in some of these trades that I would have sent out. So for those who do not know me, my name is Karen Williams, also known as Coach Care, and I usually tend to do these sessions every single Sunday, right? So I would either do a beginner session to help those that have just started and need some type of direction in trading when they've plugged in, and also for those who decide they want to take their trading to another level. I tend to do a Forex mastery as well, where we tend to get a bit technical. We look at different indicators and we look at how we can all become master traders in the future, right? So I just want to give some information, and I hope you guys have your notebooks and pens right now, because as I start to talk, just take some notes down. And the first thing I want to talk about is stop losses, right? So I don't know if you guys could just make a heading of stop losses. And the reason why I want to touch on this is because I think that we've been given information on what stop losses are, but we've not given all the information of what stop losses can be, right? So there's a difference. Now, the first thing that I want to say to you, what we've all been taught, right? If you've went through basics 1 to 4 and speaking to some of the leaders and educators, is that stop losses speak for themselves, right? So stop losses speak for themselves, right? They stop you from losing all of your money, right? So they stop you from losing your balance. Now, first of all, what I want to say to you guys, and I can't stress this enough, when you set a stop loss, right? It is you removing your emotional self from the money that you're prepared to lose. That's the first thing, right? So basically a stop loss is you saying, look, I am just prepared to lose this amount, right? If the trade goes wrong, I'm prepared to lose this amount, right? And then we will continue. Now, if you find yourself in a position where you cannot handle or manage your stop loss, then your stop loss is wrong, or probably trading isn't for you, or you've not set the idea properly. You have not fully understand what trading is about, right? And hopefully it can save you today. So I want you guys to understand that stop loss, firstly, is you having an understanding that, look, if I set 30 pip stop loss, I'm prepared to lose $3. If I set 50 pip stop loss, I'm prepared to lose $5. So if the trade comes back and hit your stop loss, I know it's nothing that we want to look at our MetaTrader 4 and see that we've actually lost the trade. But let me give you some insight, and I've been reading many and many of books watching tons of video. My research has just been very deep into Forex. And I can tell you, from way back in 1974, some of these persons that have made some of the most profitable trading indicators right now, their success has come from their losses. Would you believe that? The most profitable traders in this world right now lost more than you and I. And you know why it is that we need to lose? Do you guys understand what failure does? Right? Failure allows us to go back to our idea and tweak it a bit. That's how we were able to this is how I can even come on Zoom right now. Right? It's taking an idea and keep tweaking it until you get it to the point that is working for you. Right? No. So the first thing is stop losses is to protect your balance. So you need to remove yourself emotionally from your stop loss when you set it in a trade. If you realize that your stop loss is about to clear your balance, then your risk management is not right. Right? Your risk management is not right. Secondly, stop losses is for a trading idea. What do I mean by that? Okay, so I can share my trading plan with you guys, right? I set my moving averages. I look to see long term what direction the trade is going, whether it's uptrend or downtrend, right? So I look on the daily chart and I look on the H4 chart. And I look for entry on the H1. So if my trade is at resistance and the overall downtrend is the overall trade is in a downtrend, I'm looking to sell at resistance. If the overall trade is in an uptrend, I'm looking to buy at support. Right? Now, that is my trading plan. It is not changing because that is what I found has worked for me. I can't sit here and tell you guys that it has always worked, right? But let's look at something. Let's look at two examples. I hope you guys can see this. I'm just gonna move some chair. And we're gonna have two people today. And I just wanna make sure that you guys fully understand this. Hopefully you can see the board and everybody can read what I have here. Let me see if I can get rid of some of that glare. Good. Anybody just tell me, Shannon, give me a thumbs up if you could see what it is I have. Somebody give me a thumbs up if you could see the words that I have on the board right now. Thumbs up. Excellent. Thank you. Now, two types of people. We got Bob, right? And we got John. Both of them are traders, right? So first thing, let me just make sure. Excellent, right? So Bob, he trades 25% of his balance every time he enters into a trade. John, he only trades 1%. No, they both have the same trading plan, right? They both have the same trading plan, right? But this trading plan, this is what happens. The first time, they lost. Second time, loss. Third time, loss. These are trades that they're going into, right? Fourth time, loss. And on the fifth time, when there's another trade, there's a fifth trade, right? It profits more than the accumulation of these. So this one profits, right? They have the same trading plan. What happens to Bob? Bob, balance, 0. John, he was able to get $50, but he was only losing 1% per trade, right? So he went into 5 trades. And on the 5th trade, his trading plan was profitable. Bob loses all of his money. He panics. Everything is in red. He closes out. This sounds familiar. Some of you are sitting down in your seat right now telling yourself, you Bob sound like me. I ain't want to be Bob. Don't be a Bob. Right? Try to be John. Try to be John. This is where we need to get to. We need to be getting to this level. I've seen people come to me last week panicking about trades that I would have sent out. That would have been a swing trade. And their balance is $25 and $30 minus. The trade went into negative the first day, went into more negative the second day, and on the third day, it began to profit. 25% of those people lost that trade already came out. Those that were able to manage their risk, right? And right now I'm profiting. So because when you find your trading plan, right? It doesn't mean that if you lose on 4 trades, it is wrong. Because this is how trading plans work. Sometimes we cannot control what happens in the trade. Yes, you can get as much technical indicators as you want. But if Trump decides, you know what, I decided to go to war today or something, it's going to have an effect on your trade. And if you are not trading in a position to handle this fundamental news, then you're going to end up to be Bob. Right? So I hope everybody understand that. That's a bit of risk management for you guys. So, right, just gonna continue now. So we're talking about trading stop loss. Right? So we're talking about trading stop loss. Now, how do I trade my stop loss? So if I send you guys a trade, and let's say it is 20 pips in, or you see yourself in a huge balance and a huge profit. No, let me just say, not $1 profit, Some of you guys are trading at, I think I'm talking about $2, or if you're trading at a higher percentage, once it's over at least 10 pips in profit in this trade, right? Move your stop loss. So you're gonna move your stop loss to entry. And by entry, what does this mean? So on MetaTrader 4, when you look at the trade where you can see it is in red or blue, right on the left, right under the currency pair, you will see something like 0.97481. That is your entry. So what you will do is click on the trade, press modify, and change your stop loss to this figure, right? What that does for you, so when you move stop loss to entry, you break even. So if the trade had to take a different route, it will knock you out of the trade, but you would just break even, right? So this helps protect your profit, your balance as well. So you break even. Now, you've heard, let's say that the trade now has, the person that sent out the trade has TPs 1, 2, and 3. For those that can manage it, you can set your take profit to TP2 or TP3, right? And trail your stop loss in between. So the first time when you realize that the trade has gone into some profit, you move your stop loss to entry, right? You continue to let the trade grow, right? So you let the trade continue to grow. Now, when you hear someone says, okay, well, the trade has now hit TP1, you're going to move your stop loss again, right? So you're going to move your stop loss. Let me just remove this. So just under TP1, just under, because I don't know if you guys know, but most of you should know that some trades tend to spike, right? Some trades tend to spike, what we call fakers. So what you will do is put it on the TP1. I'm going to actually share my screen to show you guys what it is I mean. So you will move your trade. So when it hits TP1, you're going to move your stop loss to under TP1. Not TP1, under TP1. And let the trade continue to go up. That way, if it comes down, you still profit. You'll be in profit. You'll be in profit still if it comes back and it hits your stop loss. And the same thing for TP2. When it hits TP2, you know, you can move your stop loss actually to the number that TP1 is. And when it goes to TP3, you can move your stop loss to the number that TP2 actually is. And all you do is just hold on the trade, right? And modify it and change your stop loss to the numbers that are given for TPs 2 and 3. But I'm going to show you guys in a second how you can do it on the chart itself. Right? How you can look on the chart and see where you will put your stop losses. All right? So everybody understand this bit so far? Just type 111 instead of the chat if you understand this so far. Excellent. Excellent. Good. So I just want to make sure that we understand how to trade our stop losses. The next one I'm going to go through is how to trade TPs 1, 2, and 3. So you're in a trade, someone sends out a trade. First of all, this is how the trade is gonna look. Euro, USD. This is how my trades look sometimes. So just bear in mind, somebody has entry at 0.74581. Let me just use some numbers here. TP1, 0. whatever. TP2, 0. whatever. And TP3, 0. whatever. Then stop loss, right? 0. whatever. Anyway, first thing, if you see this entry and the person says market execute, sometimes they say market execute or sell now. But you see this entry, you can look at your chart and see if the trade is around this number range. And if it isn't, and the person said that it is a sell, use your initiative, guys. Set it a sell stop. If you realize that the person is saying, this is the trade, this is entry, but you notice that the price actually gone above, so it's 74600. So we actually gone past this, pew, and gone up the road, right? Set a sell stop. Use your initiative. Use your initiative, right? Same thing with if we looking to buy, set a buy stop. Right? Set a buy stop order. So you can look and see if the trade is at this number. If it's already started to move, but it haven't hit TP1 as yet, just market execute. Just market execute. Now, one thing I wanted to go on here, you know, I had some person that didn't understand this. Now, Shakori sent a trade last week or whatever, and it said 0.03 per 1,000. I just want to make sure everybody understands what this here means. This doesn't mean that you have to trade at 0.03, yeah? This means that you are trading 3% per $1,000 you have in your account. So don't see this and think, let me go large and they charge. Just look at it and notice what it is he's saying. risk only 3%, only 3% per 1,000. So if your account is $100 or less, $200 or less, 1%. 1%. Don't mind that. You know risk management, you know your balance. Go with what your account can handle. Right? Don't feel pressure. Don't see this and tell me, so you can jump into this here. No, I want met 700 US and then you lose it all. Right? So make sure that you understand. This doesn't mean, because I know some persons would have thought that this meant you have to go in at 0.03. No. This just means risk 3% per 1,000. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that. So if you understand that, again, 111 in the chat before I move on. Excellent. Great. Now, let's move forward. TPs 1, 2, and 3. So how do you trade TPs 1, 2, and 3? Easy. It is very easy. The trade is in a buy. TP1 is hit, right? Or is even if it's not hit, what do? You set after TP1 a buy stop order just above TP1. Set a buy stop order just above TP1. However, keep your stop loss close. So stop loss close. The reason being, sometimes what traders do is that they might reach TP1, they might go up, activate your order, and it might be a faker, and then it drop all the way back down. Now, if you keep your stop loss close, like just under TP1, so make sure your stop loss is something like just under TP1. The benefit to you is that if it is a faker and it activate your next order, you don't lose the profit that you would have just made on TP1. You probably will just lose just a little bit of it. So if you're trading take profit 1, 2, and 3, when it hits TP1, or even before it hits TP1, have your buy stop order in place if it's a buy. If it's a sell, have your sell stop order in place right under TP1, not the actual number itself. Look at the chart. Just gauge a number. Do a few numbers, right? Write down the numbers, minus a bit from it, add a bit to it, right? Something just jumped me. Anyway, you want to make sure that you will then be activated to take profit too. So when the trade is continuing to go up to take profit too, your buy stop or sell stop order is activated. Your take profit is then TP2. You would follow the trade up and hit TP2 as well. And the same thing for TP3, right? So you will put your buy stop or sell stop order just above TP3, right? So just a few pips above TP3. Keep your stop loss close. So you're going to keep your stop loss just under TP2, right? And then you're going to be in the trade right up to TP3. It's very, very simple. All you're doing is setting up pending orders in order to trade TPs 1, 2, and 3. Right? Is that clear for everyone? Type 222 if that's clear for you. If you need me to repeat, just write repeat. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that. 222 if that is clear. Okay, we have somebody that wants us to repeat. Okay. Anybody else? So only Danielle understands, or some other people understand? We just want to make sure everybody's following, we understanding. If not, type repeat, please. Okay, so I'm gonna repeat. So we start from top, right? This is what you're gonna do. So you're gonna set your first trade. Let's say it's a buy order, right? You're gonna set your first trade at entry, you mark it execute or whatever into the trade. Your first take profit is take profit 1, right? Just gonna spell it out now for you guys so you could understand a bit more. So your order is in, your first order that is already activated, the take profit that you would have set is take profit 1. You go back into the trade again, but this time, if it is in a buy, you change market execution to buy stop. This buy stop is a pending order, so it's not activating your order straight away. So buy stop is what you're going to set. Your entry, so your entry for your buy stop is just above TP1. Just above TP1. So when it hits, when your first order hits take profit 1, your pending order is going to be there waiting to be activated. Right? So on its way up, when it reaches your pending order, then it activates your order. You're now in to the trade to trade it to TP2. Now, when you've activated this order, your entry is just above TP1. Your take profit is TP2. So TP2 is your take profit, right? So your take profit is TP2, your stop loss, few pips below TP1. So what does this look like, right? We get on my all fours, me and the old girl around here. So this is how it looks, right? So I'm just gonna draw a little sketch. So let's say this is our entry, right? This is TP1. So I'm just gonna write TP1 here. This is entry. Our stop loss is somewhere around here. This is stop loss. Just want to make sure everybody can see, right? This is what you will do. So you will have one trade doing this, doing TP1 only, okay? Then you will set up a buy stop order because as you can see, entry is here, TP1 is here, so you're going in a buy. So let me just do it for some of you who don't know. You're going up, you're going in a buy, okay? So how to set TP2? What you're going to do is set your take profit, set your buy stop order. So what I said here, entry just above TP1, your buy stop order will be just above TP1. So buy stop order. So that is your entry point. This is your entry. That above TP1 is your entry. Okay? Your stop loss will then be, let me see if I could use a different marker. Your stop loss will be under here, just below TP1. So this is your stop loss for your next order. Okay? So your stop loss is going to be just below TP1. Your entry is going to be just above TP1. Right? The benefit to you is if the trade does this, do it in a different color. So if the trade does this, you know, it come all the way up, you know how traders go retest a little, hit stop loss, hit or take profit 1. First order, take a note because we would have hit take profit 1. If the trade does this, spike up here and then comes all the way back down, right? Yes, it will activate your next order. The benefit to you having your stop loss close is that if it is a faker, you will just lose just a little bit of your profit. Just a little bit if it does come back down. So you're not going to lose all of your profit because your stop loss is just below TP1. So what that means is that it is close by. So you won't lose much, right? But also the next benefit to you is that if the trade continues to go up, right, all the way up to TP2, your buy stop order would have been activated and you would be in that trade to ride it to TP2. Everybody understand me now? 222 if you understand me. Was that clear? If not, let's start after the class, but I don't want to keep it going too much longer. Good. So those are the two topics, right? How to trail and how to trade TPs 1, 2, and 3. The same thing that I just said would apply for if you're also trading from TP2 to TP3, right? What I'll do is once we finish the call, I can open the mic and we go through it again. But I'm going to actually share my screen now so that you guys can understand a bit better. All right, so I'm just going to move this. Let's do a share screen. All right. So let me just get this up. Bear me 2 seconds, guys. Let me just find a good trade. And then now I'm going to share my screen. Turn off my video so you guys can see me, and you should be able to see my screen now. All right. So I'm just going to go into M15 chart. Right. So I'm going to use lines to show my entry. Right. So let's say we are going into this trade as a buy, right? I'm using, let me take off my EMA, right? So I'm using my support and resistance lines to show you guys entry. I'm just gonna write some words on it. So let's say we were going in this trade as a buy, and I entered here. We're going up in a buy, right? My stop loss, put in a different color for you guys, put it in red. So my stop loss, right? We usually set stop loss like just below the swing high. So let's say my stop loss is here. This is entry. Take profit now is blue. Right? So let's say first take profit is here. So I'm just gonna put some text so you guys can see. So this is entry. 1 second. Let's do that again. Don't have my mouse. Not working. All right, anyway, I don't have my mouse with me, so just bear me. So the black line is entry. The blue line is our take profit 1, right? The red line is our stop loss. This is the first trade. So we would have went in this trade with 1 trade, right? To go to TP1. This is TP1. Let me just show you what will be TP2. So we're gonna go, TP2 will be green. So TP2 will be here. All right, so bear with me, right? So this is TP2. Now, you would have gone into this trade. This is your entry, right? You want to trade TP2. This is TP2 here with the green line, okay? So what you will do is that you will set a buy stop order. So you will go a few pips above. So let's say that you will go here. Right? So I'm going to also do it as green so you will know that this is your new order, your new entry. So this will be your entry for your buy stop order. So you will basically, this is TP1. You're entering just a few pips above TP1. You would enter the trade here, right? So just a few pips above, okay? And your stop loss is going to be a few pips below TP1. So your stop loss will be, let's say here. So you see the distance between your entry and your stop loss is quite close. You're keeping your stop loss close by, right? So that the benefit is that if it is a faker and it comes back down, it stops you out. Don't put your stop loss down here because then you would lose all of your profit. If your stop loss is just below TP1, right? You would probably just lose a little bit. Let's say you just lose $1, but in this whole trade, you gain $10. So you're down by 9 if it had to go the opposite way. But the whole benefit to you of doing a buy stop order is because let's say it came up here, it hit TP1, it goes up, it activates your order. This was your entry. It activates your order and it continues trailing all the way up and hit TP2 and take your next order out because you would have now managed to get TP2 in profits. Right? So that's clear. Let me come back here to the chat. Tell me if you understand that. Type 222 if you understand what it is I just did. I know it's a bit confusing. They have the text, but hopefully you guys understood. Kiana, what about you? Was that okay? Did you understand that? If not, we can talk after the call. Okay. Now, I'm just going to show you guys how to trail the stop loss, which was the first thing we were speaking about. Right. So, trailing stop loss. This is the M15 chart, right? So, that is your entry. Your exit is above here. So let's say you set your take profit at take profit 3, right? So it has to go through take profit 1, 2, and then 3 if it's gonna hit your take profit 3, right? So let me just change that color. Let me put it as blue. So your entry is this black line, right? Your take profit 3 is up here. Your stop loss would be here, right? What you do if the trade continues to go up. So let me just move this. So let's say the trade move from here. You have to follow with me. The trade moves from here and it goes up here. Let's say that this was above TP2. So somebody sends out a message saying TP2 hit. What you do is that you move your stop loss from here and you put it to TP1 or to your entry. So the whole idea is that you're going to keep modifying your stop loss. So you're going to click on the actual trade, click modify, and move the numbers up. So if you're looking at the chart and you want to know, but I still confused, where should I put my stop loss? Basically, I don't know if you guys realize how trades work, but they run up and then they pause. It's like a rubber band. A guy running with a rubber band wrapped around his waist, right? And he pushes himself all the way up. And when he gets here, he gets tired. So he takes a little deep breath, right? So he probably gonna walk up, back and forth, you know, panting, trying to get his, trying to catch his breath. This is what happens here with the trade. the guy is running and then he stops. He's catching his breath before he goes again. So where do you put your stop loss? Where he stopped, where he paused, because that has just become support. That is how I explain support and resistance to my team. Wherever this guy stopped, paused to take his breath, that becomes support, right? Support and resistance, guys. This is where it becomes. He would have stopped here for some time, caught his breath before he ran again. Then he catches his breath and he continues to run all the way up here. So the whole idea is that you will move your stop loss. Your stop loss would have been down here to protect you when you was in TP, when you was just, when the trade has just started, sorry. And then once the trade has gone up, you hear somebody say, okay, take profit 1 has been hit, right? And we're heading up to take profit 2, right? You just move from here and go to entry. And if you hear, well, take profit 2 has been hit, and we're now writing it to take profit 3, and you see it up there, move it to take profit 2. Move your stop loss from take profit 1 to take profit 2. The whole idea is that if it doesn't go up and hit take profit 3, it will come down and exit your trade, but in profit. So you would be in the trade and you would be taken out, but with take profit 2 profits. That's what I mean to say, right? That is basically how you would trail your stop loss. Everybody understands that? Stop share. Type 111 if you understand that. Just in the chat. I just want to make sure everybody understands loud and clear. 111, let's go. Come on, guys, energy. Excellent, excellent. So, just gonna put on my video now, and I want to tell you the last thing that I want to speak to you about today is how to trade stress-free. I actually talked about it in the beginning of the call, but you didn't realize, right? How to trade stress-free is managing your risk. If you know that you're in a trade and you have a balance of $100 or less, the most you should be trading at any given time is 30 cents. 30 cents. So which means you're either going to go into a trade, you could go into 3 trades at 10 cents, or you could go into 1 trade at 30 cents. You have your stop loss. I have identified the 2 things stop loss and work for. The first one is to protect your balance. So you need to understand that if your trade comes down and hit your stop loss, how much money you're going to lose. You need to know that. Don't just set a stop loss because it is one of those things, it's a requirement to set. Understand how much you're going to lose when you set the stop loss. So if you realize, well, you know, stop loss here is actually 50 pips, I'm going to lose $5. You need to know that, right? You need to know that, right? And you have your TP1 set. Turn off your phone. Go do the people work. Stop checking the phone every 2 seconds. I know some of you just be checking and seeing it going in minus 40 cents and minus $1 and start panicking. But let me tell you something. If the trade has not hit your stop loss, means that the trading idea is still valid. It is not invalidated. If the trade hits your stop loss, then you know that the idea was not valid for this particular time or for this particular trade at the point in time. But if the trade has not come down and hit your stop loss, why are you looking to take yourself out of the trade? Why are you panicking and looking at your phone saying, man, I ain't let how this trade going at all. It got me a minus $3. This ain't gonna go up. Let me close it. Why? Do you know that some of these trades that we actually come out of before they hit our stop loss, right? As soon as we come out of them a day later, you see that they're going in the direction that we wanted them to go. I know a lot of you guilty on here. Stop hiding behind the camera. I know a lot of you are guilty on here, right? Do you know that when you come out of the trade, because you couldn't be patient on the market, you know, that the trade then a day later actually goes up in the direction that you want? And then you hear others talking about, oh, I get TP1. Oh, my trade hit TP1. And then exactly, somebody here saying, then you vex. Exactly, you're going to be vexed to yourself. I can't understand why you're standing in that trade. Guys, it's simple, right? Stop losses is to protect your balance, but most importantly, it is to test a trading idea. And if your stop loss is not hit, do not take yourself out of the trade. If you realize, okay, other trades are being posted, but right now your account hold up by this particular trade and you can't trade no more, do not trade. Block out the noise. Block out the noise. Don't mind them people. Your trade gonna come along. Don't worry about them. You understand? Don't feel pressured, guys. Try to block out the noise. I can tell you, and I don't know if Adriana is on this call. Adriana posted something recently to I think it was today or last night on her status, and I really loved it. It really spoke to me, and I tell myself I need to share this with my team. Right? Trading is 30% analysis and 70% psychology. You know what that means? Half the time that we are losing on a trade is not because our trading idea was wrong. It's because of in here. Greed. Right? So many different things that we have going on. We're under stress, we're under pressure, a lot of different things that we use to trade with. And then we're not allowing ourselves to be patient. So I just want to tell you guys today, patience does pay off. We was in a gold trade last week, and I had so many different people panicking, right? Oh, it ain't doing nothing, ain't moving, carrying. I don't understand. Why this person sent out this trade and they ain't doing nothing? But the project that is gonna go, just be patient. If it ain't hit your stop loss, means that the trade is still valid. When you coming out to the trade, somebody else holding it, right? Week later, then profitable, you less. Right? You lost out. You would have had $100. No, you're down to 90. That person had $100, them up to 150. And you ask yourself, what's the difference between Bob and John? Right? John is wait for his trading idea to either be validated by hitting TP1 or his set TP, or invalidated by hitting his stop loss. Bob is greedy. He gone in at 25%, risking a lot of his balance. And when he sees it starts to drop, he's panicking. So he either comes out at minus many, because I don't know, he probably come out at minus $50 or $80, right? Or his stop loss is hit and his balance, his account is blown, right? But John became profitable. Don't be a Bob, be a John. Right? If you guys want to post that in the chats today, I want you guys, if you found that what I have said to you today has hit a spot, go to the group chats that you're in right now and post, don't be a Bob, be a John. I want you guys to do that. If this has spoken to you and you think that if you had to pick up this going forward and you think that it will help you to be more profitable, I want you to go to the group chats you in. If you in 14 group chats like me, post them in all 14. Let people know, what's this that this body talking about? Don't be a Bob, be a John. Guys, and I hope that you've enjoyed today's session, right? I hope that it was useful. I hope that you understood the 3 topics that I would have spoken about today. I hope that this has done some type of impact for somebody, and that the markets are open now. So starting this week, we can trade better. We can become more profitable in our trades, right? I want all of you guys to excel. This way is take out time every Sunday to help persons to learn how to trade because I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about people's progression. I'm passionate about helping people. I want you guys to win. I want to win too. But I ain't just want to win and be selfish. I want to win and share it with somebody. Right? So I here to help. Post me a question. But if it's 500 of you, remember that it's only one carrying. Right? So bear with me if my responses are slow. But I am here to help you guys on the journey. We all on this journey together. We all will be profitable together if we start listening to what people are telling you, right? We block up the noise. Don't mind the noise. Somebody out there celebrating Chelsea win, but you been here for your game, use Barcelona, you been here for your game to start. Don't worry about them. Worry about you. All right? So that's my piece of advice for you guys today. Have an awesome trading week, right? With a lot of pit love. Take care. Thank you.